bringing you the news and information you need from the people making a difference. This is Comcast Newsmakers.
Hi, I'm Tonya Caruso. Welcome to this edition of Comcast Newsmakers. We're all about to see a big spike in energy costs. Can anything be done to stop it? Joining us is our newsmaker this half hour is State Senator Wayne Fontana. Thank you so much for coming in and talking with us today.
Thank you for inviting me.
This is a big issue and it's going to happen soon.
Right. The rate caps are scheduled to come off in 2010. Time is of the essence here and trying to get something done to help our consumers, when those spikes start hitting, what we can do to soften that.
Tell me about the rate caps and why we had them in the first place and why it is that they are coming off.
The rate caps were installed back in the late 90s, before I was in the Senate, obviously. But the idea was deregulation and to promote competition. Well, it hasn't really worked. And since then, since up to 2006, some of the rate caps come off, Duquesne Light being one of the ones that did come off, and the rest of them are supposed to come off in 2010. But it was supposed to have competition, which obviously, if you promote competition, it's supposed to drive costs down. Well, it really didn't work. And now we're back in the same positions as they were back then, and now what do? The caps are coming off. And what are the things besides just regulating, the cost of the rate going up and down? What else can we do? And House Bill 2200 tried to address that.
So what are the estimates as to how high these rates can go?
Well, since 2006, for example, Duquesne Light, when that cap came off, they went up over 10%. It was about 10.6%. They've already increased. It's projected, another company in this area is Allegheny Power. It's projected they can go up at 63%. And that's a pretty big spike for anybody. And the other companies throughout the state are projected to go up in that range, 40, 50, 60%.
So what does this bill do?
Well, this bill does a few things. It talks about procurement, and procurement means least cost. Right now, a company could go and find a supplier, and the supplier might be solar or nuclear or wind, and the highest might be solar, and the least might be wind, and they could actually buy it at the wind price and charge the customer the solar price. Well, now, under this bill, you can't do that. You have to use the least cost. So that's major. It's to help the consumer keep the price of it down. So that's the biggest thing that this bill does. The second thing is to try to control the demand part of it, conservation part of it. They are required to reduce consumption of utility electric by 2.5% by 2013. So obviously, if demand goes down, the cost doesn't go up. It's the supply and demand theory. They also have smart meters as part of this. You can put a smart meter in your home, a customer can, and that would show and monitor how much electric they use and when they use it, and that way you can use it at night rather than the day where the rates are lower, and that would help. And the PUC becomes a big factor again. Enhances their authority to monitor and to look at market manipulation or market when they try to control the market, and they can be fined up to $100,000. Utility companies or electric companies can be fined up to $100,000 a day, up to $20 million. So that's a big thing. But we missed mitigation. We missed what do we do about the cap when it comes off, and we need to control that in some way, either extend caps, reduce caps, or phase caps in. And that's something we need to work on as we move forward in Harrisburg in the new session.
How likely do you think that will be? And what's kind of the climate in terms of, are both sides of the aisle on board with this?
Well, I know in my caucus we are, right? And we had a conversation with the governor because there's a lot of people that didn't want to vote for this because the mitigation piece was missing. But we had assurances from the governor and the leaders in my caucus that we would address this come January. And I think the consumers out there need to call their representatives, they need to call their utility companies, their electric companies, and demand that something's done to help them with that spike.
State Senator Wayne Fontana, it is such a big issue. Do come back. We'll continue this discussion. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I'm Tonya Caruso. Thank you at home for joining us. We'll see you next time on Comcast Newsmakers.
The proceeding has been a presentation of Comcast Newsmakers.